The conflicts between Israel and its neighboring countries in the Middle East have complex historical roots primarily related to the creation of the State of Israel in 1948. Here are some key points that help understand the origin of these conflicts. The origin of the peoples. Peoples with Abrahamic roots primarily refer to Jews and Muslims who trace their common origins to Abraham, Ibrahim in Arabic, a revered figure in the religious traditions of these communities. The subsequent rivalry between these groups often stems from theological, historical, and political differences. Here are some relevant aspects to understand this rivalry. Abraham as a common patriarch. According to Jewish and Muslim religious traditions, Abraham is considered a common patriarch. He is seen as the ancestor of various nations and is therefore revered by these two religions. But according to the biblical narrative, Abraham sent away his son Ishmael, whom he had with his slave, and Ishmael, according to the story, is the father of the Arab nations, while Abraham stayed with his other son Isaac, whom he had with his wife. And according to the biblical narrative, Isaac was the promised son. Theological differences. Although they share a common foundation, the Abrahamic religions have significant differences in their theological beliefs. For example, views on the nature of God and the acceptance of the prophet Muhammad as the last messenger of God diverge between these traditions. Islam and Arab conquests. After the foundation of Islam in the 7th century, Muslims initiated territorial conquests that eventually led to the domination of vast areas of the Middle East, North Africa, and parts of Europe. During these conquests, interactions and conflicts arose between Muslims and Jews. The Crusades and the Reconquista. The Crusades, initiated in the 11th century, were Christian military expeditions aimed at reclaiming the Holy Land from Muslims. These conflicts exacerbated religious and territorial tensions between European Christians and Muslims in the region. The Balfour Declaration in 1917. During World War I, the British government issued the Balfour Declaration, expressing support for the creation of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This led to Jewish immigration to the region. British mandate in Palestine from 1920 to 1948. After the fall of the Ottoman Empire, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate over Palestine. During this period, tensions grew between the Jewish and Arab communities in the region. Jewish immigration and ethnic tensions increased. Jewish immigration to Palestine led to conflicts between the Jewish community and the local Arab population, who saw it as a threat to their demographic majority and interests. Partition of Palestine in 1947. The United Nations proposed a partition plan that would divide Palestine into Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem under international control. Jewish leaders accepted the plan, but Arab leaders rejected it, resulting in clashes. Contemporary history, nationalism, and the creation of the State of Israel in 1948. In the 20th century, the rivalry between Jews, Christians, and Muslims took on political and national dimensions. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion proclaimed the independence of the State of Israel. Immediately, several neighboring Arab countries invaded Israel, starting the Arab-Israeli War from 1948 to 1949, also known as the War of Independence. Arab-Israeli Wars. Over the years, Israel has been involved in several wars with its Arab neighbors, including the Suez Crisis, 1956, the Six-Day War, 1967, the Yom Kippur War, 1973, and other minor conflicts. The issue of Palestinian refugees, the creation of Israel, led to the dispersal of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs, generating the issue of refugees, which remains a central point of contention in peace negotiations. Conflicts in the Middle East. Persistent conflicts in the Middle East, including the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, have roots in historical and territorial religious disputes between Jews and Muslims in the region. The territorial issue and Jerusalem. Disputes over territories, borders, and the status of Jerusalem continue to be significant sources of tension between Israel and its neighbors, mainly because Israel wants to rebuild its temple, better known as the Temple of Solomon, which would be the third Jewish temple. The problem is that they want to build it in the Al-Aqsa Mosque complex, which is the same place where two very important mosques for Islam are built, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Omar Mosque. This causes much discussion and tension in the region. Current conflicts. The attacks on October 7, 2023 were carried out by the Islamist extremist group Hamas against Israel. This attack occurred one day after the 50th anniversary of the Yom Kippur War of 1973. Hamas launched an unprecedented attack on Israel, killing about 1,400 people and taking over 200 hostages, according to Israeli authorities. In response to these attacks, Israel declared war. Since then, the crisis has spread throughout the Middle East. Israel fought Hamas and Hezbollah, allies of Iran, which also supports the Houthis, a rebel group from Yemen that attacks ships and is targeted by the United States and the United Kingdom. The situation worsened with attacks from Iran, which launched ballistic missiles at Syria and Iraq, targeting Israeli intelligence bases. Israel retaliated by attacking Beirut, Lebanon, to kill a Hamas leader. The United States and the United Kingdom officially entered the conflict on January 12, 2024, bombing more than 60 Houthi rebel targets in Yemen. This web of interconnected and unprecedentedly escalating conflicts in the modern history of the region is a major international concern, and the confrontations continue to this day. While sharing common roots, the theological and historical differences between Jews and Muslims have often contributed to tensions and conflicts over the centuries. These historical and territorial factors have created a complex and entrenched context that continues to fuel conflicts in the region to this day. Attempts at resolution have been challenging, involving diplomatic negotiations, peace agreements, and international mediators. This was a summary of the origin history of these conflicts between Israel and its neighboring countries in the Middle East. I hope you enjoyed the content on our channel. If you're not part of our community yet, now is the perfect time to subscribe. Click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to receive all notifications, and don't miss any amazing videos we have prepared for you. If you're already part of the family, thank you for being here. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. It helps us understand what content you appreciate the most. We want to hear your opinions. Leave your comments below, share your ideas, suggestions, and anything else you'd like to discuss on the topic. Moreover, if you enjoyed the video, how about sharing it with friends? Share it on social media. Send it to friends who might enjoy the content. The more people join us, the more enriching the conversations, experiences, and new stories we can share. Watch similar content by clicking on one of these two cards on the screen. And thank you for being part of this journey. We're excited to continue bringing you content that you love until the next video.